Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for the fourth annual Healing Summit. It is about healing together, a community for survivors of loss. We are extremely grateful to have each and every one of you here. Um, I just wanted to preempt that you're not required to keep your video on. If you wanted to just listen in, by all means, there's no one is required to keep your video on during this time. So today, people are just joining us and popping in right now. But I just want to introduce our speakers for today's summit. So I'm Deslynn Jaquias. I'm the founder of Healing with Aloha podcast. And I started this podcast back in 2019. It was prompted by the relationship with my younger sister. She was 23 years old, and 23 years ago, she died unexpectedly from being in a vehicle accident. And so I wanted to be able to help people. My intention was to just help one person, because the journey through grief and even processing my mental health with post-traumatic stress disorder, it was very difficult. And being able to get the help that I need professionally to process it all gave me the courage to get to this point in my life. And so our next speaker I just wanted to share is Karen Gibson. Karen and I actually have been co-hosting. She's been my co-host since 2020, since I started the summit. And this year, I'm excited to have her share her grief journey with the loss of her dad and her mother. And she is also the founder of Letting Go with Aloha. And the next guest, Paula, this is her second time being my guest on the Healing Summit. It was really important for me to have her come on because I'm on social media and all the platforms. And one of the things that I noticed was there was a lot of grieving moms. And it was on my heart to be able to have her on to share her journey with grief, because I often see a lot of moms, and I only know how it feels to be a sister, and to see my mom go through her journey with grief. And so this is Paula Griffith, and she's the founder of the Grieving Moms. And so we are humbled and we're really grateful for the time that we get to spend with you. And if you guys would be so kind, if you really felt prompted to, if you could share your loved one's name, first name in the chat so that we can honor them. And if we can just have a minute to just pause as we remember our loved ones. Thank you for everyone sharing. And I'd like to have Karen Gibson lead us in meditation before we begin. Paula's going to be our first speaker. Okay.
Thank you, Deslynn. I'm really honored to be here. Pardon my voice. I just lost it. Just arrived from Australia last night, so I'm going to try my best. I'd like all of us to close your eyes, please. Picture your loved ones that we might be grieving right now. And let's take some time to create an atmosphere of support. So when you're ready, begin by sensing your breath. Let's just deep breathe, really deep. Inhale a little bit more, hold, and just gently breathe out as if you're blowing on a birthday candle. And just feel the breathing in the area of your chest. See your belly rise on each inhale. And as you exhale, just, just blow out all the air that's in your chest. And this can help you to become present to what is within you. Let's take one hand and hold it gently on your heart as if you're holding a vulnerable human being, because you are. The grief we carry is part of the grief of the world. So let's hold it gently. As you continue to breathe, just bring to mind the loss or the pain you are currently grieving. Let's let the story, the images, the feelings, just accept what comes naturally and just hold them gently. Let's take your time and let the feelings come layer by layer without judgment, just a little at a time. And keep breathing softly, compassionately. Let whatever feelings are there, the pain and the tears, the anger and the love, the fear and the sorrow, come as they will and touch them gently. Let each of these feelings unravel out of your body and mind. And this is a safe space for any images that arise. Allow the whole story, maybe some of your favorite memories, and breathe and hold it all in with tenderness and compassion, kindness for it all, for you, and for others. The grief we carry is just part of this entire universe. So hold it gently, let it be honored. You do not have to keep it in anymore. You can let go into the heart of compassion. Give yourself permission to cry if that's what you need. And releasing the grief we carry is a long, fear-filled process. Yet it follows the natural intelligence of the body and your heart. So let's trust it at this time. Trust the unfolding. Along with this meditation, some of your grief will want to be written, maybe cried out, to be sung, to be danced. Let the timeless wisdom within you just carry through this grief and awaken a tender, open heart. Keep in mind that grief doesn't just dissolve. Instead, it arises in waves and gradually, with growing compassion, there comes more space around it. The heart opens, and its own time, little by little, gaps of new life breaks in, the rain clouds appear, and your body will relax. You'll have freer breaths appear. And this is such a natural cycle. All you can do is just trust it, believe in it, and how life and the heart renews itself like the spring and winter. It always does. So when you're ready to say something that you want to share with your loved one, and pause and listen to what they're saying to you. Perhaps comforting words, maybe a tight hug they want to give you. And open your eyes when you're ready. Thank you. Oh, you're muted, Des.
Thank you,
There you go.
Karen, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Um, I'd like to have Paula share about your experience with grief. And, before we begin, I just wanted to let you guys know that the format of this summit, it's more interactive. Oftentimes we go to summits, it's more of a lecture. And so you are welcome to um, put questions, comments in the chat. And if you feel compelled, um, when each of us, we're going to, in our space when we share, we would love for you guys to ask questions or to share your experience and how you're doing, so that, we can be a comfort and support to one another. So with further ado, this is Paula.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Paula, and I stand before you today with a heart full of both sorrow and hope. I am a mother of 4 beautiful children, although only 3 walk this earth with me now. 16 years ago, on August 17th, 2008, my life was forever changed. My precious daughter Chanel, who was just 11 years old, passed away suddenly from an unexpected asthma attack. At that time, I was pregnant, navigating the profound joy of new life while grappling with an unimaginable loss. My 2 oldest sons were facing their own grief, and together we stumbled through the darkness of our loss, trying to find the light once more. Chanel was a bright spark, full of energy, laughter, and boundless love. Her absence created an irreplaceable void, but it also taught me lessons I never wanted to learn: how to breathe through the pain, how to honor her memory by living fully, and how to find happiness even when it seems impossible. Through my journey, I've discovered the resilience of the human spirit and incredible power of community and support. Today, I am here to share my story, not just of loss, but of healing, of finding joy again, and of embracing the parts of life that seem lost to grief. Our collective experiences with child loss bring us together in a unique bond, a silent language of understanding that unites us. First and foremost, I want you to know that your grief is valid. Losing a child shatters the very fabric of our existence. It leaves a void that feels impossible to fill. It's okay to feel anger, sadness, confusion, and even numbness. These emotions are a natural response to such a profound loss. Yet within this overwhelming sorrow, there lies the seed of possibility. A close friend of mine faced the heart-wrenching pain of losing her daughter to suicide. Her daughter was a remarkable young woman, and her loss left a deep void in our community. In the depths of her grief, my friend found a way to channel her sorrow into something profoundly impactful. She started a scholarship program to honor her daughter's memory and support young women who aspire to make a difference in the world. This initiative has not only kept her daughter's spirit alive, but also provided her with a pathway to healing and a sense of purpose amidst the pain. Healing doesn't require grand gestures. It's often the smallest steps that begin to mend a broken heart. Perhaps it's taking a walk in nature, writing a letter to your child, or sharing a cup of tea with a trusted friend. Each small act is significant and moves you a little bit closer to embracing life again. So during my time of healing, I've started to do journaling. And so I have some journaling tips and some prompts that you can use. So today I remember, that's the first one. I wish I could tell you, which will express the words you wish you could say to them today. A letter to your future self. What would you like to remind yourself about this moment of your healing? And gratitude and grief. Note down small things you are grateful for each day, even amidst the sorrow. So, in this journey, self compassion is also your greatest ally. Treat yourself with the same kindness and patience you would offer to a dear friend. Give yourself permission to feel joy without guilt. Remember, moments of happiness do not diminish the love or memory of your child. Instead, they honor the light that your child brought into your life. It's common to feel guilty about experiencing joy after such a loss, but think of it this way. Embracing joy is a tribute to your child's memory. It shines a light on the incredible impact they had on your life. By allowing yourself to smile, laugh, and find pleasure in life again, you are keeping their memory alive in the most beautiful way possible. Lastly, know that you do not have to navigate this path alone. Building a supportive community of people who understand your pain can create a network of healing. Speaking with others who have faced similar losses can provide comfort and strength, making the burden of grief feel a little less heavy. Grief may never fully disappear, but it can transform. Together, we can find ways to coexist with it and still embrace happiness. Today, I encourage each of you to take one small step towards healing. Every step, no matter how small, is a tribute to the beautiful souls we miss so dearly. And if you feel the need for more personal guidance or wish to share your journey with someone who understands, please reach out to me at contact@thegrievingmoms.com. Let's continue this conversation beyond today and support each other in our paths to healing. Thank you. And if anybody wants to come up and share their story about their child or anyone that they feel that is important, we're willing to share the floor with you.
So we just wanted to welcome any of the parents if you wanted to share a memory or if you had any questions, that maybe you're going through. Oh, hi, Patty.
Hi, Paula, thanks for your words. I lost my 28-year-old son 6 months ago to type 1 diabetes and died of complications. I appreciate your words as I've been learning that the grief and sorrow will probably never leave, but I'll be able to make room for joy. And might be a little early yet for me, but that gives me hope to know that I can go back to being a parent to my 2 daughters and being proud, joyful, and happy. I'm just hopeful, and your words help me remember that. So thank you.
Problem. And if you feel that you want to continue the conversation, you can always reach out to me. I put all my information in the chat. I've been there. I know exactly, how it was. It took me 7 years to do anything remotely possible, and I had a baby, and that baby was supposed to bring me joy, but it's the heaviest time of my life. To try to enjoy being happy with this new baby and mourning the loss of my daughter, and it was terrible. But it took a long time for me to get to this point. So is baby steps, is your community. I had a great friend who kind of pulled me out of it. Before, prior to grief, I like to go out and have a good time, and she kind of eased me back into it. Soca, I've tell anybody, is something about that music that moves your spirit, and you don't have to know what it is, but it's something about those rhythms, and that kind of helped me bring myself out of being in the funk all the time. And I started traveling, so there is hope for each one of us. You just have to know when you're ready for it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Is anybody else
Thank
who wants
you.
to come up and share?
Paula. Oh, Paula. Can you share what prompted you to do the Grieving Moms and what you've learned in the process? You're muted. You're muted. Oh.
I am so sorry. Um, you know, everybody's on Instagram, and I said, you know what? I think this was part of my healing journey. And so I was starting to read like different quotes up there, but I was like, even though they were putting quotes, some of them didn't seem relatable to me. So what I do is I go look for quotes that I felt that would make me feel better for that day. And it just started out me just starting with one quote per day, just posting. It didn't matter if who read it or who didn't. It was just something for myself. So, and it worked. It worked because I really take my time when I post those quotes on Grieving Moms to make sure that I can feel what it feels for somebody else.
Yeah, so I met Paula through Instagram and I met Karen through Facebook. There's real people behind these social media accounts. And sometimes, even if you just made one friend, those relationships, they might be able to hold space for you better than people who've known you your whole lives, because not everybody is equipped to hold space and to show compassion, for you. But is there anybody who had any questions? You can ask a question in the chat, or if anybody wanted to come up and share anything. We have a few more minutes. Okay. Well, Paula, thank you so much for sharing with us.
No problem.
Just let me know if you have to go. Paula is in the midst with her other daughter. They're out and about, and so thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. No problem. I'm gonna stay on for a little bit.
Okay,
Thank
thank you.
you.
And so next we're gonna have Karen. She'll be sharing about dealing with the loss of her mom and her dad.
So losing my dad was so unexpected because he was a primary caregiver for my mom. My mom traveled that roller coaster journey of Alzheimer's. And as an only child, I felt a lot of guilt that I wasn't supporting him more. But then I was also raising my two daughters. They're currently 22 and 28. But in 2016, my eldest was in college. And then I think I got a call from the hospital. My dad was like, I got admitted, and it was complications. He had asthma, and there was a lot of fog from the Big Island when the volcano does its thing, and it wasn't anything dangerous. He said, I'm going to just stay one more day, just to find out that everything's okay. And then 4 days later, we just unexpectedly lost him, and trying to explain that loss to my mom. She didn't want, we just said, just stay one night. And we kept saying that one more night, one more night. And just going through, I think Des and I were talking about it. You just feel like you need to be strong for your family. You do the funeral arrangements, you do life. I continue to tutor. I tutor the day after he died. And I think I needed it. But I think when it's so unexpected and you have, I don't know if anyone is prepared for it, because even if, like with my mom, we had 2-3 weeks, and I shared her journey. And I think a lot of people were surprised that I was so vulnerable sharing the day to day, and even when she stopped communicating. But some people reached out and said that it helped them, with their grief journey. So sometimes, we share privately. Sometimes we share openly, leaning on friends. I journaled a lot. What we did was my family and I shared favorite Papa memories. Every Christmas, we shared, just things that he would say. He would always, want to let us know that he knew, like everything from the difference between dryers and Haagen-Dazs, or like, why did the Blu-ray, why was it called blue? And did you know that? And he never went to college, but he was very into researching everything and anything. And so I think those memories helped me. Losing my mom on my dad's birthday at first was just so traumatizing. For some reason, I wanted to celebrate his birthday with my mom alive. And after she passed, I was so devastated. And my daughter said, Mom, look how romantic. They reunited on Papa's birthday. Immediate mind shift. And I thought, it isn't traumatizing. It is a beautiful way to think that they're celebrating his birthday in heaven. And so I actually talk to them daily. People who know me will tell you that I'm obsessed with feathers, but it's because I always ask them, like even before in Australia, I'm like, Daddy, if you're with me, please just send me a feather. And I'm always like so shocked. And my husband's like, there's birds around. There will be feathers on the ground. Stop picking them up. Stop picking them up. Because we don't even know if it's legal, right? And I said, like, keep it in a diary, put it in socks, whatever it was. But when I was unpacking a little, those feathers just bring such warmth to me. And I kind of giggle because whenever I need one, he'll send me one. And I'll be like, can you send me a bigger one? Mommy, are you going to send me a feather? And a little feather sometimes falls, a little feathers. So I think asking for signs I've been reading a lot about grief too. They will send you signs, whether it's a song, a feather, whatever it is. But thank you for letting me share, Des. This is very healing for me.
Oh no, thank you for sharing. I had a question for Erica, and then after Carla's going to be sharing, the question is, how do you grieve the loss of your foster parents without making your birth parents feel bad? Do you have any suggestions?
For me?
Yeah.
Or Paula? I really believe, releasing guilt is so, so important in our grief journey. And I think birth parents, it's not, I know it's such a fine line because you don't want to hurt them. But when you navigate grief, it might sound selfish, but the most important thing to do is to do whatever brings you peace. Because otherwise, you're going to always be, oh, I don't want to hurt this person. Or even when I was grieving my dad, I'm trying to help my mom, or maybe not hurting my daughter. And I finally thought, you know what? I'm going to be walking on eggshells, and I need to do what truly brings peace to me. And just know that some parents might not understand. Your birth parents might understand, but it's not, I don't want to make it sound selfish, but it's not your responsibility to make everyone feel comfortable, because death is uncomfortable and discomfort is what all of us want to avoid. But I think knowing that you need to feel what you deserve to feel without adding the burden of making everyone else feel better. Because otherwise you're going to make everyone else feel better at the expense of your own peace. I don't know if that helps.
Thank you. She said, thanks, Karen. I think that's an important thing to address is oftentimes when we're grieving, depending where we're at and who we're around, whether it's personally in the home or professionally, um, that plays a role in how we can feel and act. And I don't know about you guys, but does anybody ever deal with crying fits? And then it always comes up at the wrong time in your head, like when you're at work and you're supposed to go into a meeting and all of a sudden the tears just well up. You know, I think it's important to just be human. Nobody's going to be perfect. And as much as we'd like to compartmentalize our lives, it's not going to be easy. And, you know, being honest and giving yourself permission to just have a moment, you know. But does anybody else have any questions for Karen, or if you're dealing with the loss of a parent, you can ask a question, or if you wanted to say anything. Okay, thank you guys. So I wanted to see Carla. Would you be ready and, to share? I see you stepped away. Okay, Carla. Thank you. You can press unmute and then you can share.
Hi everyone. I came here. For me, it's night. It's from Italy. I'm from Italy. I'm in Italy now. I'm here because of Karen. We met. I think the universe make us meet together. So she brought me so much joy. We meet on Zoom from time to time. And so I came because I didn't want to come because I have so many losses. But I came because Karen is there. And because it is for me like a night, an evening for me to bring all my all the people I lost together in my life. Okay. So I wrote the name of my father. He had a cancer and he suicided himself when I was 8. Then my mother, she died after 7 years with lungs problems. And I was always there night and day. And then my sister, who I didn't talk to for 20 years, suddenly her daughter wrote to me a message, a text, telling me she died last night. So it was last March. So, and then, but I'm here, I want to talk because there is something I didn't tell anybody, but I think you are the right people to understand or to feel or to be with. So tonight is a good moment with you all to talk about her and all my family. Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for sharing, because I know that we're not always given permission to share deeply, and we just want to hold space for you, because it's not easy to talk about these things. And I hope you can feel the love that is in this room for you.
From today for you and tonight for me, it's different now. I mean, something has changed because I shared it with good people. I mean, I feel I'm in the right place.
Yeah, definitely you are. Mm-hmm. That is a lot to carry, you know? And
yeah.
you don't need to do it alone, you know? And so definitely we put our emails in the chat. And so definitely reach out to, you know, us, you know, if there's anything we can do. Karen, Paula, and I are going to be giving out some resource to you guys for free. If you guys can just email us directly, we'll email it to you guys, because we just really wanted to hold space for one another. And I deeply appreciate you sharing what you just shared.
And I like that you said now, hold peace. Yes, those are good words. Yes, thank you.
Okay, I wanted to see if Karen can share another meditation with us before I share.
Yes, so
thank
let
you.
us all. Thanks for giving me this opportunity, Jess. So sit comfortably. You know what? Let's first do this impromptu thing. It's called the havening technique, but whenever you're feeling just things are unbearable, this has been known to calm even PTSD, war victims, just anyone not having you just can't take it. So it's almost like a self-hug, but start off with hugging yourself and so your hands on your shoulders. And then I want you to slowly, slowly, slowly caress so that you're caressing your elbows. You're giving yourself a side high five. And let's do that 2 more times. So really give yourself that warm hug. Gently, gently slide your fingers, right? Your tips of your fingers on your elbows. And then cross your palms one last time, getting yourself in that very calm, peaceful state. Your arms, your elbows. And after that, let's just put our hands on our hearts and just close your eyes. Okay. Just feel your chest rise and fall below your hands with your breath. If your attention wanders, just gently bring it back to your breath. So all we're doing is focusing on our breath. I'd like you to breathe deeply in through your nose for a count of 4. So 4, 3, 2, 1. Allow the breath to flow through your lungs and into your stomach. Hold your breath for a count of 4. 3, 2, 1. And then slowly, very slowly exhale through your mouth for a count of 8. So it's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue breathing in this manner. I encourage you, whenever you just feel the need to, you just need to escape, you don't know how to handle discomfort, try this breathing count of 4 in, and then holding, and then exhale, count of 8. Let's do this gentle breathing, and with each exhale, let's feel our bodies just relaxing more deeply. And now allow yourself to sense your grief or any other emotion that may come up. And just notice where in your body the sensation arises. And welcome the sensation with a sense of curiosity and with a lot of compassion for yourself. If you feel any judgment about your emotions, I invite you to gently let them go with the awareness that anything you feel right now is completely natural. Allow any and all emotions that arise with love, peace, and self-compassion. Just know that no matter how you feel, you are safe, supported, and deeply loved. Now just visualize the one you are grieving. Imagine this person standing in front of you and get ready to have a heartfelt conversation. What would you like to tell them? What would you like them to tell you? And in your mind's eye, just privately have this conversation you need to have without judgment. I invite you to do this on your own as well. If you journal, just write down what I'd like to tell you. And Paula did that great prompt. What I'd like to tell you is, and then listen, and they will communicate with you. So say what you need to hear and hear what you need to say. What you need to hear too. This will bring a lot of comfort. And when this conversation is over, know that if you need to see your loved one again, you can always return to this safe, non-judgmental, very gentle space of communication. So give your loved one a hug and say goodbye for now, and allow them to fade from or step out of view. And as your loved one fades from view, once again, allow yourself to experience whatever emotion arises without judgment, without guilt, without fear. Visualize drawing that emotion into your heart where it suffuses with the energy of love and compassion. And return your attention to your breathing once again. Breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you breathe in, visualize white, loving light entering on your breath, moving into your heart and lungs, and pumping throughout your entire body with every beat of your heart. And as you exhale through your mouth, visualize your pain, your sadness, any negative emotions. They're flowing out with your breath, where they are surrounded with the loving light of the universe. And let's continue breathing in through your nose and just out through your mouth, noticing any emotions that surface without judgment, and just release them as soon as you are able. Let's return your attention to your body now and notice where your body connects to, whatever it is you're sitting on. Make small movements. Let's wiggle your fingers, your toes. Let's stretch as if you're just waking up. Put your arms as high as you can. You're touching the sky. Okay, give yourself that tight, warm hug. And when you're ready, open your eyes and smile. We're all here together to support each other.
Thank you for sharing. So I'm going to be sharing about sibling loss. So back in September 22nd, 2001, I called home. I was very sick. And I called for my mom, but I ended up speaking to my younger sister. We're 3 years apart. At the time, she was 23 and I was 26. And we have 2 siblings. And so, I knew she was going to go to dinner. And I was joking with her because I thought she had a boyfriend, but I was joking, but she supposedly didn't. But then I found out Maybe she did. I don't know. But I knew she was gonna go to dinner, and so we parted ways and said goodbye. And I'd say that was about 5 something. And at midnight, my older sister was at my window telling me to open the door, and my sister couldn't say anything. And my brother-in-law, they were engaged at the time, told me Kala died from a car accident. And I said, "There's no way." I just spoke to her. She's fine. There's no way. And so they took me to go talk to my brother, and I still didn't want to believe. And then I called home, my mom, who was at the ER, and mom was just crying. You could just hear her crying. And my dad answered, and he just wasn't coherent. And my auntie came on and asked, "Is all okay?" And she said, "All, which means she's gone." And that is like the hardest thing that I ever went through in my life. This year marks 23 years since she died. And I was very angry. I felt angry as an older sibling. You feel obligated your whole life to watch over them, to make sure they're safe, they're okay, they're not making bad decisions. If they're making bad decisions, then you make sure they're okay so they don't get in trouble. So you try to take the blame for that kind of thing. And so there was just like an immense guilt. But the one thing I always try to think about with my sister was, if you rewind back to the beginning of the year, on my birthday is in March, she died in September. She happened to be on the island I was on. She took me to dinner, and she just sat across from me, and she was like, "What are you planning on doing?" And I was like, "Oh, trying to share my ideas, what I wanted to do." And she said, "You have to do what makes you happy." And she was like, "Forget what other people think about you. You just have to do what makes you happy." And on the intellect, I heard her. On a hard level, it's taking me years to get to that point, to really do what makes me happy, because I had learned with a lot of trauma prior to her dying, enduring abuse, that I was always used to making myself small and shoving my feelings far in the back, because I wasn't allowed to feel deeply. And so when she died, it just brought up all these issues that I never dealt with, because it was secrets. It was secrets that I kept. And so out of all of that, years after, so she died 2001, and then 2006, my older sister was like, "Hey, you're pregnant. You better go get help. Go get professional help, because whatever you don't deal with as a child, when you become a parent, it's gonna come up. So go get help." And so I did, and I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. And so I did listen to my sister, and I did get a lot of help to process the trauma prior to my sister dying. And so I share this because I want people to know that sometimes when you're grieving, it brings up experiences in your life that you never processed or dealt with. And it's okay to get help, whether it's medically, whether it's professionally, whether it's getting a coach, going to a support group, linking up with a loved one, family or friends. and committing to meeting up with them, just to touch base and to lock in, because it's not easy sometimes when you're thinking about them, because you feel like, I just want to press a rewind button. I just want one more day. I just want to say something. And I wanted to share, like, I prayed a lot and I journaled, but this one practice that I did, I felt like was really helpful was, so this is my journal. I wrote letters to my sister. And I would just say, like, hey, Allah. And I would just talk to her about what was going on. The week after my sister had died, and we did her well, 2 weeks after she had passed, my older sister got married. And my sister didn't want to get married because she was grieving my other sister. But my mom was like, no, your life goes on. And I wrote that to my younger sister. And so I just think that, it's okay to write letters and look for signs of your loved one, because whatever it takes for us to be able to, connect to them. The one thing I can say is that in the 23 years that my sister lived, she really lived life to the fullest. She was like the most funniest person, the most sweetest person you could ever come across. And I realized that we can honor the people we love by being the best version ourselves in this lifetime. Because when we honor them, like, the love they had for you, it still remains. Like, they love you equally. They may not be able to, like, tell you, like, physically, but they're always sending signs to us, like what Karen said, like in feathers. For me, it's like rainbows. But in their own form, they're always showing their love for us, and they're always with us. And it's okay to cry and feel, and to also experience joy. That's what I wanted to share. And so I don't know if anybody had anything they wanted to share, or they had any questions.
Me? I'm thinking
Yes.
about the feathers and your rainbow. So this week I watched the clouds in the sky, so deeply. So I became so fond of them. And so I'm thinking I'll take the clouds from now on and think about all four of them. And I think it's a good idea. Because, looking at the clouds, I had this openness in my eyes, my sight, and even my mind open to all the movement of the clouds, the different shades of the blues. And so it's a good idea. I'll take the clouds from now on. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you, Deslynn, did you say that you have a podcast? No.
Yes, my podcast is called Healing with Aloha.
Okay.
It's on Apple and Spotify. I actually paused, and so I'm gonna get back into it. I decided to go solo. I held space for 3 years with other people, but because I'm a sensitive person, I take on, other people's feelings and emotions and energy. So I was like, okay, this is a lot for me, given, I'm on my own grief journey. So I took care and I said, I think I'm going to go solo and do shorter podcasts, but yes, I have a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done some really great interviews over the years that you may absolutely love.
Did you interview Karen?
Yes, I did. Yes. Oh, I made sure I interviewed Karen.
Yeah. Because Yeah, I followed because I bought a book, a coach in trauma and abuse,
Oh,
an American psychologist, and I was following her on Spotify, on her podcast, and she does 15 minutes, 20 minutes just, and it's good because it's
really?
not too long and you are supported, or you think about the thing, and 15, 20 minutes, it's okay. So I'm going to check you and listen to you then.
Yes,
Let me know
thank
you.
you. Yeah, I totally, that's what I was gonna go back to, is 10, 15 minutes.
Mhm.
Because my intentions was that when people are driving, or if they're taking a bus, or just like a short distance walking, that they'd be able to listen. Like that,
Yeah.
that's what I think I wanted to go back to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Um, does anybody else want to share anything? There's a few of us in here. Um, oh, your Uncle Karen said this summit is something we all needed. Thank you. Um, I wanted to share that Karen has a favorite animal. Uh, it's a sloth, and I don't know if you guys ever, I don't know if you guys ever seen a sloth. Well, a sloth. Okay, so we went to San Diego, and I was shocked. So generally, when you watch them on cartoons, or you see videos, they're like really slow. The one we seen at San Diego moved really fast. And what I wanted to share is, sometimes, like in your grief journey, you can go through different phases, right? But if you're one of those people who move slow like a snail and a sloth, it's okay, because it's still progress and it's still intentional. And it's important to maybe not look at what other people are doing online, because then you start comparing your life to them and feeling like, I'm so behind. But when you're genuinely processing real life stuff, like grief, um, you're gonna be slower than most people, because success for you is just getting out of bed, maybe walking out the door. Like, that's success. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to encourage you guys to just be aware that going slow is still progress. Karen, did you want to share anything?
No, I totally agree with that. I think you've given me permission, because I used to tell Des that I was more of a cheetah, just always going faster, faster. And Carla has also taught me to really, oh, turtle, yes.
We are
Oh,
the
that's right. And Michelle, my daughter believes that her spirit animal is a turtle, and whenever she goes to the beach, sometimes there's 3 or 4 turtles that just like surround her. So I think that's a very symbolic animal too, that we need to be safe and feel okay to be in our shell and go at our own speed. But I'm okay with being a sloth. I'm curbing my cheetah.
Well, and so Erica share hers is a turtle. She says, I'm slow and often hide in my shell. It's like, I totally get it. I mean, the whole pandemic, it was a learning experience for a lot of us, because all of a sudden, I don't know where you guys live, certain places where you can't go out, like they required you to stay home, and there's deadlines and whatnot. And people who are introverts, they loved it. They're like, yeah, I get to stay home. And then the extroverts were like, oh man, I'm gonna die in here. But I'm an extrovert. Sometimes I go back and forth, but I think social media was the best outlet for me. Oh, Erica said on the beach where, oh yeah, you're in Hawaii. Yes, she's in Hawaii. Oh, it's on Oahu. I think Lanika, is that where you see the turtles? She's seen the
Sometimes
turtles?
Lani Kai, sometimes North Shore. Yeah, and it's fun when you go in the water. A real quick story. I am just talking to my friend, and I just screamed bloody murder, because I thought it was I didn't know what it was. And it was a turtle. And I kept walking away, and he kept bumping into me, bumping into me. And we laughed and said, he was like, what are you doing? This is my space. Just, but I was like screaming and then laughing hysterically, because I thought, okay, I am safe. It's kind of a silly moment.
Well, I'm so grateful for everybody for Carla and Erica for hanging out with Karen and I. I know everybody, it's all different times. We're all over the map, the globe. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you scroll up in the meeting chat, the email for Karen, myself, and Paula is in there. You can email us. We do have something we wanted to gift you guys with for coming. And if you can just write it down, or if not, you can always message whoever invited you here. On the Eventbrite, the information is there. If you wanted to refer your friends or family that weren't able to make it, please let them know our emails, because you guys understand what type of grief that we all were processing. And so you guys are welcome to pass on our email to your loved ones, because this may be helpful for them. I know that they wouldn't be able to. I just wanted to make a note that I did. You go back into, oh, you don't see the emails? Hold on real quick. I'm going to copy the emails. Hold on. I got it, Karen.
Okay.
And that's Karen's one. But what I was going to say is, if you guys go back into the Eventbrite where you guys registered to join us today, I did create a monthly get-together for people as a journey through grief. And so you guys are welcome to come. It's free to attend. If you guys wanted to make a donation, you guys are more than welcome to. But I did set up something for October, November, and then January. So definitely share, join. I think they only revealed the October's one if you guys wanted to register. And it's just a hangout time for us. Sometimes, like I said, we just need to be around people who can hold space and be compassionate and loving. The time is actually an hour earlier than this time. And so thank you so much, everybody. It is 10 o'clock. I appreciate you guys all being here. And we're just sending a lot of love and virtual hugs to you guys. But have a beautiful day, and we will see you guys online, and reach out to us, and we'd love to be a support to you. So thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.